If you're watching this, chances are that you're gearing up to take the EPPP or at least starting to think about it. Whether you're already knee-deep in studying or trying to figure out where to even begin, this video is here to guide you through one of the most important steps, signing up to take the EPPP and the logistical details that you need to know. I'm Dr. Catalina Uribe-Rini, and this is How to Pass the EPPP in 60 Days. As always, I recommend going straight to the source when you're looking for information, so today I'm sharing a lot of details that are specifically found in the Association for State and Provincial Psychology Boards, or ASPPB'S, EPPP Candidate Handbook. You always want to use this resource in consultation with your individual licensing jurisdiction because they will have the most up-to-date regulations and requirements that you need to abide by. Because all jurisdictions may have different variances into what's required for application, I will be speaking pretty generally in this video, and again, consult with the individual licensing boards in order to find the information that you need for your specific journey. Let's dive into the process and make sure that you're ready to tackle this important milestone in your journey to becoming a licensed psychologist. First, you'll need to apply for licensure with your local licensing board, and this typically occurs after you've completed your doctoral program, have completed your internship, and have your degree completely conferred. I can make a separate video speaking to the details of the licensing process, including the application fee, as well as what you need to submit as part of your application, but for now, let's stick with the specific scope of the EPPP. While most candidates take the EPPP during their postdoctoral year because of the reasons I just gave, there are a few states, including Kentucky and Colorado, which offer temporary licensure at the master's level. This means that a conferred master's degree is enough to be eligible for one of these temporary licenses and to take the EPPP. However, it's important to know that because these are pathways for full independent practice as a psychologist, you still need to pass the EPPP with the recommended passing point cutoff score set by the ASPPB, which is a 500 out of a possible 800. The ASPPB provides a resource called PSYBOOK, which is helpful in order to find what are the requirements in each state or jurisdiction. However, remember that it's a secondary resource and you should always consult primarily with your independent jurisdiction's licensing board website. Something helpful for you to keep in mind in your applications is when you look at your jurisdiction's licensing board website, check to see if they have an estimated processing time for applications, as well as if they post the frequency of their board meetings. For example, when I applied for licensure as a behavior analyst, my state board only met once a month, meaning that I needed to meet a threshold in order to be considered for the next month's meeting. The other difficulty is that depending on the number of applications, there might not be time in said meeting, and so that may push your application yet another month away. So all of these time considerations are something that you want to keep in mind, especially if you have requirements. For example, if your postdoc requires that you take and pass the EPPP before completing that. Once your application is approved, you'll be ready to schedule your exam. Similar to other standardized exams you've probably taken in the past, this exam is scheduled at a third-party testing site, Pearson VUE. Something to note is that you won't be able to see Pearson's VUE availability calendar until you have paid your examination fee. The difficulty with that is that once you've paid your examination fee, you have also started the authorization period. ASPPB requires a maximum of 12 months as an authorization period for you to take your EPPP. However, that timeline can also differ based on jurisdictions, and you may actually have less time approved. This means that once you pay, the clock starts ticking, so it's important to give some thought beforehand to your study schedule and your proposed testing date. You want to keep that testing date general because you'll also find that the Pearson VUE availability for testing centers near you may be limited, and I have heard of people who will travel to different cities or even different states in order to go and test at a site that's available during the window that they're wanting to take the EPPP exam. Each licensing authority also varies in the number of attempts that you have to take the EPPP within that authorization window, but per the ASPPB, the absolute maximum is 4 attempts. If you need more attempts than what your authorization allows, you'll need to reapply after that period ends. Let's use the example of a jurisdiction that allows 12-month authorization periods with 4 attempts. If you're lucky enough to get consecutive testing dates, meaning that they're not very far apart, you may find that you use your 4 testing exams within 4 months, meaning that in order to reapply to take the EPPP again, you'll have to wait an additional 8 months for that 12-month period to be over. This can delay your progress significantly, so again, it's so important for you to keep this in mind as you're preparing to schedule your EPPP. Right now in 2024, the fee for the EPPP Part 1 Knowledge is $600 plus the Pearson VUE testing fee of $91.88 plus taxes. Remember that this is per sitting or per attempt, so each time that you retake the EPPP, you'll need to pay these fees again. Depending on your jurisdiction, you may also need to take the EPPP Part 2 or Skills, which has its own fee of $450 plus the Pearson VUE testing fee again. And it's important to know that effective no later than January 1st, 2026, all jurisdictions will require both the EPPP Part 1 and Part 2. However, instead of being 2 separate exams, they will be 1 exam in 2 parts. So keep a lookout, know when it is that your local jurisdiction will adopt these policies, and prepare for that, both on the financial end, but on the study end as well. Advancing in time, let's pretend that you've already scheduled your EPPP. If your test date is advancing and you don't feel ready, there are some options that you can look into. Most important to note is that you are able to reschedule free of charge if your test date is 32 or more days away. If the window is smaller, between 32 days and 24 hours before the exam, you can choose to either reschedule or cancel for a fee of $87.50. Just make sure that you don't wait until that 24-hour period, because if you attempt to reschedule or cancel the exam, or if you no-show completely, you will forfeit all of the fees, including the $600 examination fee for Part 1, the $450 examination fee for Part 2, and any Pearson VUE testing fees involved. I know this process can be overwhelming, and I hope that this video has helped you feel more confident in tackling this aspect of your licensing journey and sitting for the EPPP. Remember to plan ahead, give yourself time, and don't rush. Preparation is key with this process. If you have any questions or want to share your own experience, please leave me a comment down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any videos in this series or beyond. In upcoming videos, I'll be covering EPPP accommodations and how to request them, tips for creating an effective study schedule, and what to expect on exam day. As always, good luck.